The alien warrior raised his glowing cup toward the gathered nobles and laughed loudly. And then the human tried to threaten me with a tiny metal knife, he said, shaking his head. A knife. I thought he was opening a snack. Laughter rippled across the queen's court. One noble nearly dropped his floating chair from laughing too hard. I told him, the warrior continued proudly, that if he wanted to defeat me, he should at least bring a spoon. A spoon might have been more dangerous. More laughter echoed beneath the hovering ceiling of the palace. The warrior paced confidently across the center of the court, enjoying every second of attention. Humans, he said, waving his hand dismissively, are fascinating creatures. Fragile bones, limited vision, terrible fashion sense. One of them once tried to scare me by shouting very loudly. What happened? A noble asked. I waited for him to finish, the warrior replied. Then I asked if shouting was his species' main weapon. The court burst into laughter again. On the throne above them, the queen watched quietly. Her long ears tilted slightly as she listened. She rested her chin against one hand, studying the warrior as if she were trying to decide whether his stories were amusing or simply repetitive. The warrior puffed out his chest. A single soldier of our empire could defeat 10 humans while half asleep. Possibly 12 if we skip breakfast. One of the older advisors cleared his throat. Humans have surprised other civilizations before. The warrior grinned. Yes. Usually by accidentally pressing the wrong button. Suddenly the massive doors of the court slid open with a low mechanical hum. Every voice stopped. A human soldier walked calmly into the chamber. The guards escorting him looked uncomfortable. The human looked relaxed. The warrior blinked once, then laughed again. Ah, perfect timing. Did someone order a demonstration? The human glanced around the enormous court, then at the warrior. I heard someone was telling stories about us, he said. I came to check if they were funny. A few nobles chuckled nervously. The warrior stepped forward, smiling sharply. You must be very brave. The human shrugged. Or very bored. For the first time that evening, the queen smiled slightly. Her long ears lifted with quiet interest as she watched the two soldiers facing each other in the silent court. The alien warrior rolled his shoulders and stepped into the duel circle as the arena activated with a low humming vibration. Well, he said, stretching his arms, this will be quick. Try not to fall over too dramatically. The cleaning drones get confused. The human stepped forward calmly. I'll try to collapse politely. A ripple of quiet laughter passed through the watching nobles. The floor shifted as the arena projected new terrain. Gravity tilted slightly, and glowing rocks rose from the ground. The warrior tapped his armor. Advanced combat system. It calculates your defeat in 12 languages. The human nodded thoughtfully. Does it also apologize afterward? The signal tone sounded. The alien warrior lunged instantly, his energy blade flashing through the air. The human stepped aside with a small movement that looked almost lazy. The warrior attacked again, faster. The human moved again. A third strike sliced through empty air. The warrior frowned. Stop moving like that. Like what? The human asked. Like you planned it. I did plan it. The warrior swung again, forcing the human back across the shifting gravity field. One of the floating stones rotated suddenly beneath the warrior's foot. He slipped slightly. The human paused. Careful. That rock looks aggressive. A few spectators coughed while trying not to laugh. The warrior growled and charged again. This time the human moved toward him instead of away. Their movements became faster. Energy sparks flashed. The arena changed terrain again, raising metallic ridges across the floor. The warrior leaped forward with a powerful strike. The human ducked, tapped a control node on the ridge, and suddenly the gravity flipped sideways for half a second. The warrior stumbled. Who installed that? The warrior snapped. The human shrugged. Probably the same engineer who made your armor. The warrior steadied himself and glared. You're enjoying this. A little, the human admitted. For the first time since entering the arena, the alien warrior stopped smiling. Across the chamber, the queen leaned forward slightly, her long ears lifting as she watched the fight continue in total silence. The arena hummed softly as both fighters circled each other again. The alien warrior adjusted his stance and exhaled slowly. "You're very annoying." The human nodded. "I hear that a lot." The warrior lunged again, faster than before. His blade flashed toward the human's shoulder. The human stepped aside and tapped the warrior's armor with 2 fingers. A warning alarm chirped from the alien suit. The warrior froze. "What did you do?" "I think your armor thinks you lost," the human replied. The warrior looked down at the blinking lights. "That is extremely rude technology." He tried to reset the system, but the arena lights shifted to blue. The duel was over. For a moment no one spoke. Then a quiet wave of whispers spread through the court. The warrior looked at the human, then back at the blinking armor. Finally he laughed once, short and surprised. "Well," he said, raising his hands, "I suppose I have just been defeated by someone who fights like he is late for dinner." The human smiled. "Dinner is important." Guards helped the warrior out of the arena. He waved them off halfway and walked beside the human instead. In the court, the queen rose from her throne. "You have proven something today," she said. The warrior rubbed the back of his neck. "Yes. I talk too much." A few nobles laughed. The queen looked at the human. "Humans are not predictable." The human shrugged. "We try not to be." The warrior sighed. "Next time I mock a species in front of the royal court, remind me to check if one of them is standing behind the door." "Good strategy," the human said. The warrior extended his hand awkwardly. "If you ever want to train again, preferably somewhere without slippery gravity rocks." The human shook his hand. "Deal." The queen watched them both and smiled quietly. The court began laughing again, but this time the warrior laughed with them.